Yo! You are listening and watching Wine with Dave. Look at that. I can line that up perfectly. Boom! Look at that. Little chink. Little clink. Wine with Dave. I'm Dave England, your host of Wine with Dave, because there's nothing else to do. So why just start a live show, right? That's what you do when you got nothing to do. I am drinking a buttery Chardonnay, it says on the box, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Who do we have so far? We got Mike England, Funny Bones, my brother from all the way from Port Orange, Florida. Who's that guy again? The Smuckers guy? Mike England turns 100 years old. Rick Greenwood, you go, girlfriend. Girl. Yeah, that was... what was that night? It was National... I keep forgetting it. It was National I'm With You, Girl. It's like if you're down in the dumps, it's a day where you call your friend and you're like, girl, I'm with you. I can totally relate, girlfriend. Girlfriend from 29 Palms, yo. Who else is watching? My other brother. I'm having a Gansett watching. Steve England. Steve. The man who turned me on to wine. Hands down. Look at that. Let me get it little in focus. Everything's backwards in live world. There it is. It's a buttery Chardonnay, Steve. You'd be proud of me. $8.99 a box. It's all we can afford. It's like World War II. I'm kidding. I'm living high on the hog. What do we have? Hey, I got some things. It's a really good show tonight because I had someone cancel, and I hate when people cancel. I hate that because I got my regular work to do during the day, and then someone calls, and it's fine. I'm fine with him. He's a good guy. He'll come back in May. But he goes, Dave, I hate to do this to you, but I got to cancel. And so he's going to come back. And then I'm like, okay, no problem. And then you send the email, and then that's when the sweat happens. And you're like, oh, man, tomorrow night I got to get somebody. So I found someone, and he is hilarious. He's sarcastic. I'll save all that for later. He's a good guy. He can hear me talking right now. And actually, I don't think he knows this, but I saw him perform at the very first Funny for Funs that I went to about a year ago, and it was the coolest thing. It was my first experience with Funny for Funs, and we'll talk about that later. So he was great. He was a great guy. Great, funny guy. Great with the audience. He busts on people. Who do we have? Mike England. Mike is drinking a wine too. Dave Stebbin. Reaching Lincoln. I like that. I like that you do that. Anya. Do svidanya. Anya. Privyet. Zdravstvuyte. That's my Russian friend. Bill Simon. Sexy man. Sexy man is watching. What makes someone sexy on a live show? 2 inches from the mic. That's the only difference. If you're back here, it's like, hey, I got a live show. Hey, I'm Dave England. But I go this close, and I'm a sexy man. Remember that, Bill. He's awesome. Okay, Chris Maynard's in the house. Chris Maynard. We're going to have him on the show. Hey, let me get into this right away. It's first of all, it is wine o'clock, and it's going to be wine o'clock for the next 57 minutes. So grab your wine, grab a comforter, grab your kids, grab your border collie, chill out on the couch, whatever you want to do. Okay, so it's wine o'clock, and I just want to get that out of the way. I got a new thing, and I want to show you guys, and it was in the pre-roll, the countdown, and there it is right now. Whoa, there it is. It's Wine with Dave has a new page, and I put that there so you could jump over to like the page when I do go live on that page, because I'm going to get rid of this page. This is my personal page. Wine with Dave is cannibalizing my personal page. I can't do any posts. I can't post pictures of cats anymore. And it's depressing. I don't like cats. So, anyway. But if I wanted to, I can't. So, I like things neat. I like all things in an order, and that's why I'm going to go with Wine with Dave. So, write that down, but don't go now. It's too late. Make sure you follow that page, the ticker tape says. And it also says, if you would like to be featured in this scroll, text me. I'm serious about that. If you've got a new job, if you have a new baby, your old baby's gone, you got a new baby, anything, put it in there. Your business has a deal going on, because I'm trying to promote businesses and local talent, and that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm giving up 1 hour of my night. It takes like 3 hours to do this, but we're not going to go there. So do that. Text me, and you can even text me like probably as quick as half an hour, maybe no later than 8:30 the night of the show. And if I think it's worthy, I'll just type it in and hit publish, and boom, you will be on all time. Okay, so hopefully you like that. That is the Wine with Dave ticker tape feature. All right, let's get into this. Likes, comments, shares, oh my, okay? Hopefully you like that ticker tape thing. Who else do we have? Wine05. It's Wine05. Alicia Lee, nice. Two clinks. And we got Tom Lopolito. A wop, bam, boom, dude. Can't see comments from Wine with Dave yet, I'm guessing. That's right. If you're watching from the Wine with Dave show, you can leave a comment, but I can't click it and show on the screen because I'm actually going live in two places. I'm kind of splitting my brain. So leave that page and just go to David England. And actually, my profile picture is the Wine with Dave logo. Actually, no, it's me playing a bouzouki acoustic guitar. But you'll see it. The banner says Wine with Dave. So enough of that. I'm just wasting time here. All right. Let's on with the next segment of the show. Are you ready? It's called... Are you ready? Did you know? Yeah. And I added some really cool music. I wanted it to be a little mysterious. Did you know animals that lay eggs don't have belly buttons? Did you know? Camels have 3 eyelids. Mosquitoes are attracted to people who just ate bananas. Don't eat a banana in the summer and go out and expect to not get bit. All porcupines float in water. Did you know? What's that sound? Children grow faster in the spring. Did you know? The only food that does not spoil, of all the foods in the world, the only food that does not spoil is honey. I think that's cool. Did you know that? Did you know termites will eat through wood twice as fast if they're listening to rock music? Did you know? Did you know a duck's quack doesn't echo? I'm going to take a duck and go into a big underground water pipe thing and make it quack and see if that's true. But it doesn't quack, apparently. A snail breathes through its foot. Did you know? Did you know fish cough? Did you know giraffes have no vocal cords? Did you know? Did you know there's no word in the English language that rhymes with the word month? No word in the English language. And did you know there is a town in West Virginia called Big Ugly? Yeah. And did you know? I'm asking as if, did you know? You don't know because these are like weird things. You would never know these. Did you know that on your birthday, you share a birthday with 9 million other people in the world? Did you know? And that was my segment called Did You Know? Tell me if you like Did You Know? Let's see. Whoa, lots of comments. Comments get one with Dave. Love the ticker tape, Dave. Dave, if you've got a video, Dave Stebbin was on. Super talented, uber talented stop motion animator. Dave, if you're releasing a new stop animation video, send me the link. I'll put it in there. I mean, you can't click on the ticker tape and leave, but, just say go to my YouTube page or something, new video. So do that. Want to promote you, my friend. What else do we have? Dave Stebbin and McDonald's French fries. See, I'm reading these comments late. I don't know what that means. Did you know? And McDonald's French fries? Makes no sense. Honey does turn into a crystallized brick, however, says Sal Socco. Always one to correct me live. Always. Did you know? Chris Maynard. Does anyone know Chris Maynard? Brad, do you know Chris Maynard?
I do.
Brad knows. You guys can't hear Brad. He's off camera right now. No words rhyme with orange. Orange, you glad? Patricia Raskin. Love your show, Dave. Creative and just plain fun. That's good old-fashioned humor. Was Howard Smith. David, you running for office, asking for a friend. Howard, I love you, man. I miss you. Joanne just got a new job. Hey, let's keep watching the show. Howard, just go to Facebook, upper left corner, after the show. Type in Wine with Dave. Go to it, like it. I'm going to be going live there in a few weeks, so hang in there. Alicia Lee says yes. Cool. All right, that was great. You guys do like it. I'm going to keep it because it's really crazy. But anyway, here we go. I got lots of people watching. Few of them know. Soul of a woman was created below. Type it in if you know what that lyric was from. Speaking of birthdays, so when you have a birthday, you share it with 9 million people. So you're not that special. Think about that. You are like, why even have it? It was 100 people. Don't even invite your friends over. You get 99 other people are having it too. That's not special. And when people give you the card, for the special boy, you're not special. 9 freaking million people, you're not special, I'm telling you. But there is a birthday today, and on Wine with Dave, you get to celebrate. What do we have? Do we have a birthday yet? Yeah, let's go. Today is a very good friend of mine's birthday, and I think Bob Sherman is correct. Zeppelin, Soul of a Woman. Well, what's the name of the song? No. Tom Lopolito. So I'm short 9 million presents per year. That's right. Steve is special. Oh, yeah, he is a very special man. So he's so special, I'm devoting just a little segment for him. Ready? This is it. Boom, look at Steve. It's his birthday, everybody. I wish I had some claps. Actually, I do. I've got applause. Yeah, Steve. Little Steve. Yeah, I'll play all of them. That's the idea. If I have a good idea, I'll play that one. I have an idea. Keep going. So, Steve, happy birthday, my friend. Where am I? I just lost my place. So, all right, there's that. But I got a cake for you. First of all, I like your haircut. You shaved the whole front, but the back is like a fuchsia afro. That is freakish. I love that. What do you guys think of the freakish afro? Check it out. There's his birthday cake, Steve. And if that wasn't enough, check this out. I gave you a GIF. Oh, wait, let me turn off the cake. Yeah, I gave you a blue girl dancing on your head. I told you I would give you a GIF. A GIF. A GIF, not a gift. A GIF. You can do that. You could say, I'm going to give you a big gift this year. And you actually send someone a GIF. You don't have to spend any money. You can go to like gifly.com. This is from Gifly. Look at her. You wanted to get bigger, Steve? Look at that. Oh, she's dancing. She's like punching your ear. Look at that. She's up here. She's over. Whoa. She's on my shoulder. She's She's on my shoulder. I don't know. Anyway, I'll get rid of that. She's Blue Girl. She only shows up once a year for you, Steve. All right, so that's done. All right, so tomorrow night, it's 9:15. Tomorrow night, Patricia Raskin. I've known Patricia for a long time. She's going to be on the show. And she has a business called Improve My Podcast. She's been in radio for like 3 decades-ish. 3 decades. And something's going on with my Facebook. You guys can still see me? Okay. Having little issues there. Been in radio for 3 years, 3 decades, and she can help you create content for your podcast. So she's going to be on tomorrow night. And also Friday night, though, is the songwriting duo, The Echoed. The Echoed. These two guys are only studio-based, which happens to work out all right now because you can't go out and play clubs. So, but tonight's guest, I am really excited and so glad this guy is on the show. This is going to be cool. This is going to be so cool. Good guy. Brad Pierce, comedian, is a wicked Rhode Islander, a comedic force in New England. He's also the co-host of Mike and Brad Live on Facebook right here. He's also the winner of the Best Rhode Island Accent Award, okay? The owner of Golden Mike Productions. He's hysterical and completely miserable. And if you heckle him at one of his shows, he will jack you up. Check it out.
I don't have much, guys, all right? I host karaoke for a living.
What do you do for a living? Athletic director. So if any of you guys, any younger people here, if you ever wonder if you need to be actually athletic to get that job, the answer is no, you don't.
Where did you guys meet?
He was my son's soccer coach.
He was your son's soccer coach. What a kinky bastard. Guy probably never played soccer a day in his life. He's like, I could meet some MILFs with this job. They're like, yeah, go kick the ball around. I want to go make out with your mom.
Stole the high five. I just stole the high five.
You just stole a high five. Hey.
I did.
What are you reading? What are you reading, dude?
A very uplifting book for this time that we're living in. And it's very appropriate.
You got it right side up, which is a start. All my friends are dead. Dude,
one of my favorite books.
You are really miserable.
You know,
What's going on?
I thought I was negative before the world ended, but then the apocalypse started, and it turns out things were much better before. I should have smiled more in the old days.
The old days, it's like BC AD. It's like, before COVID, right? BC, before COVID. Man,
I did comedy back then. It was like 11 years ago. You could go on stage in front of an audience. It was awesome.
Is it hard to come up with? Are you coming up with new material? Is it that hard right now?
No, I'm not coming up with stand-up material. It is very difficult because the only topic is COVID or Tiger King. Those are the only two topics. And I've expressed how I feel about COVID and all this nonsense in my own way through podcasts and stuff like this. So, but as far as like writing specific stand-up jokes, no, I have some notes jotted down, but it's not an inspiring time for stand-up comedy. I have been doing other creative outlets, like making videos and stuff like that, but as far as like pure stand-up, it's pretty tough to write right now, especially like about anything. Like I think back to my old jokes like before this happened, and like it would feel strange to get on stage and make like a Dunkin' Donuts joke or anything, like relationship jokes or stuff. I had jokes about being a karaoke host. Like none of it seems relevant anymore, especially because I can't host karaoke anymore now that the world has ended.
Yeah, because you've been doing that. I'm like, man, you gotta, like, comedians, you pull things from dark places, right, and sarcastic places, but this is just sad.
Yeah, it is. I mean, look, it's definitely something worth complaining about, but the problem is I need an audience to complain in front of. But if we had an audience, this wouldn't be happening. So it's a catch-22, I guess. I don't know.
So is this rare that you have an audience of one, like me? I'm the only guy that can laugh at you. Are you feeling okay about that?
No, I'm not feeling okay. No offense, Dave, but no, I am not feeling okay about it at all. And to get the news today that Gina said that we can't have any gatherings or anything fun for the entire summer, making me realize I can't do any gigs all summer long. That's not a very uplifting feeling.
So every gig you're playing to way over 50 people. I mean, you're just like you're filling a house, 100 people, 150 or more, right? And that's got to suck really bad.
Yeah, primarily most of my stand-up gigs are through Funny for Funds, and I'd say they average at least 100 per show. Some shows have 300, 400 more. I'd say average around 100. Sometimes it's under 100. But there's not a lot of shows that are 50 or less. And then even like the Comedy Connection isn't a huge club, but I think they're going to be in a really big jam here because they need to fill that club for national headliners to come through and stuff like that. I don't know what's going to happen. So really, I guess I was just saying to my wife, I really have to lean into the idea of promoting myself as a comedian who will do private gigs. I'll come to your party. I performed in houses before. I performed in a police chief's living room before, which was terrifying. But I did that this Christmas. And so basically, if you're watching and you want me to perform in your living room, I'm available.
So did you rip the police chief, or did you have to like pull back? I mean, how do you just all out? You're getting paid to do that, right?
No, I did.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did. I made fun of him and his boyfriend and everybody in the room. Yeah.
So I just watched your show, and we'll talk about that later. You're on 2 live shows. You got your Wednesday night show, Mike and Brad, right, live, and then you're on tonight. So you're doing double booking tonight, but really funny stuff. I forgot what I was going with that. Oh, you guys were talking about that. So
well,
Cheryl,
thanks for having me on. I miss that.
The camaraderie, yeah. Cheryl Wolf says you have an audience of 18. Actually, there's a lot more than that. There's more because it's being shared to other pages. So 18 on this channel, but probably up to 30 or so.
Well, thank you for watching, everybody. I hope I'm inspiring you.
I feel bad, though. I don't mean to bring us down, but, man, think about that. If you cannot... And every commercial out there, that's where I was going with this. Every commercial's like, during these dark times, and I'm with you, man. That is
I hate the commercials. I hate the commercials because the commercials are too positive for me. The commercials are like a bunch of people having so much fun in their living room with their kids and their spouse, and they're painting murals on the wall, and the kids are playing with the dog, and everybody's so happy. And then there's always like the grandma is like on the TV screen through Zoom or whatever, and it's like, you know, and these times have changed, but we can all still celebrate. And we know you lost your car and the economy has gone down the toilet, but if you want to buy a new BMW, you can still do that from the comfort of your laptop. And it's like, I just want a commercial, to be honest. I want a commercial where the wife is hitting the husband with a vacuum cleaner in the face, and the kids are crying, and the dog just pissed on the floor. I'm sorry, what's the swear rule on here? I said pissed. That's not too bad. But
you meant pissed off.
Or I would like to just not be reminded. Every commercial is about COVID-19. Every commercial, it's like, hey, do you want Frosted Flakes? Well, did you know that the world has ended, but you can still get Frosted Flakes if you order them online? We will deliver Frosted Flakes to your miserable house that you haven't left in 3 months.
These are dark times. These are dark times indeed. You're pretty miserable.
They all have like music.
You're pretty miserable, and you should be, because I hate that it's disingenuous. It's like in these times... You know, if I hear that again, I really am going to vomit. It's like
every commercial
in these dark times, hunker down. But then they sell you something.
Yeah, the music reminds me of those commercials. They always start, like you're saying, in these times, And the music reminds me of what the music reminds me of in those commercials is the music at the end of every episode of Full House when things get serious. If you remember, like, Jesse has to tell the kid an important life lesson, and the music gets serious. That's what these commercials remind me of. The cheesy Full House scene, but instead of, like, the kid fell and hurt her knee on her bike, and he's telling her how life is all about getting back up. Instead, it's like, hey, you lost your job and your wife wants to leave you, but be sure to buy some pants at oldnavy.com.
On sale now. But only one person can come in at a time to get one. Man, let's get on with the interview. How are you keeping sane during these dark times?
Okay, so what's one thing I've been doing that's helped me have some form of expression is I am creating what I call video greeting cards for people. So people can hire me to, like, let's say it's their friend's birthday or their uncle's birthday next week. I'll create a video making fun of their uncle or their friend, and I might even include a couple of their friends in the video, and I'll create that short video, and it's like sending them a video greeting card. And I've done this I did one for Easter, I've done several for birthdays, I did one for Maynard dog training, so I even get to make some jokes with dogs. But it's been a fun way for me to continue to write and to create and, you know, have some fun with some people. So that's been really helpful, and I'm really thankful for the people that have hired me to do that.
So how does that work? Like, does someone call you and say, hey, my husband's turning 60, what can you do? Or do they feed you? How does that work?
So they'll usually contact me, like, on Facebook or whatever, or text me, and they'll tell me whatever the event is. Like I said, there was even like an Easter one. And when they tell me who it's for, I'll ask them some very basic questions. What does this person do for a living? Does this person's, you know, whatever, favorite hobbies or whatever? And then I'll write some jokes based on that.
Yeah,
that's good. And then they'll just
good.
Venmo me some money.
Well, that helps. Man, to be a comedian and you can't, A, be in front of people, that alone is bad. B, you can't professionally perform in front of people. It's like you are out of work. It's a slap in the face. So I watched your live show right before this one, and I am with you on those TV commercials. Those are pretty bad. But I have a question that I always wanted to ask a comedian. What do people say when you tell them that you're a comedian? Like, if you're out there, like, oh, what do you do? I work for, whatever. I'm an engineer. I work at McDonald's. What do you do? And you're a comedian. What do they say?
If they're not a douchebag, they say, "Oh, that's cool." But some people like to say, "Tell me a joke," which is the most annoying thing in the world to say to someone when they tell you they're a comedian. It's like if they told me that they were an accountant, and I was like, "Okay, can you do my taxes real quick?" Like, it's just
real quick.
Yeah. And I don't know. And I'm just being a jackass, but no, look, in all honesty, I get pretty cool feedback about that. I mean, look, I'm not famous. I'm not on Netflix. I perform in Elks Lodges. It's not a big deal, but I do miss it. Yeah.
Hey, what do you do? I'm a doctor. I got a goiter.
Yeah. Can you please examine this mole?
Can you examine?
Yeah.
Can you pop it for me right now? So here's the deal, right, Brad? I love when comedians go off on a heckler. I love it. It's like a sign of, like, they're really good. And you are really good at that. You're totally good at that. Do you welcome that? Do you like that? Or is that a little scary? Like, I don't know, is a guy going to be too rough?
I mean, I don't know if I'd say I like it. It really depends. Look, my style of comedy is I jump into the crowd a lot. So in a way, I kind of have it coming because I pick on them a bit. but I wouldn't say I like it necessarily. I think there's a line where people in the audience, some hecklers are cool because like I said, I'm busting their balls, maybe they bust my balls back. But it's annoying where sometimes, and it's always a guy that does this.
Yeah.
Sometimes you realize the situation is they're drunk and they think they're funny, but they actually never had the courage to get on stage, and so they're taking this opportunity from the comfort of their seat. But again, I bust balls a lot, so if I can't take it back, then I'd be a hypocrite. So I don't know how to answer that question. Sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's a little bit annoying. Like, it's cool if I ask them a question and maybe they bust my balls, but it's not fun when I'm like halfway through a joke, I'm about to get to the punchline, and that's when they shout some crazy shit out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, make me laugh. You're like, I'm like 3 seconds from finishing this, and you're saying, make me laugh.
What's the story with swearing? I swore again. Sorry about that.
I mean, that's your thing. So, you know,
okay?
It's live. It's live.
Okay, I'm just trying not to. My bad.
Yeah, don't say the B word.
Okay.
I don't like Benny's. Benny's is the worst store ever. I
miss Benny's. Poor Benny's.
I used to work at Benny's. No, I'm kidding. Totally kidding about that. I was trying to be funny. So hey, here's the deal. Tell me about the time you had to follow Jim Gaffigan, the great Jim Gaffigan, and Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld on stage. Dude.
Okay.
Tell me about that.
Sure, I'll tell you that story. So I was at Gotham Comedy Club in New York City, which it's a really tough club to get into. So my friend Bill Simus, you know, got me a spot over there on. They have a thing called New Talent Showcase on Tuesdays. I've done it a handful of times, and you know, it was one of my first times in that club, and it's nerve-wracking. Part of the nerves too is, one, it's a famous club, but it's also the fact that my wife and I drove all the way to New York. You know what I mean? And I only get 6 minutes of stage time. And I don't want to make a fool out of myself in front of her and in front of an audience when I spent the whole day driving there and all this shit. And so, you know, I'm a little bit nervous. And it's packed. I was like, wow, it's Tuesday. It's like 7 o'clock and the place is packed. So I'm like, wow, this is wild. You know, so I'm like, you know, thinking about my set and everything. And then this comedian next to me is like, oh, did you hear Jim Gaffigan's coming in? And I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, this sucks.
Man.
I'm like, I'm thinking Gaffigan's been one of my favorites since I remember. Like, a long time I've been watching him, and I really like him. I think he's hilarious.
Classic, yeah.
And I'm like, so I'm already stressed. I'm like, the extra pressure of having to deal with that. So I'm sitting there and I'm kind of stressing out. I'm like, this is crazy. So now I haven't gone up yet. I'm late in the rotation. And sure enough, Gaffigan shows up and the host says, hey, ladies and gentlemen, like, big surprise, we got Jim Gaffigan here. And Jim Gaffigan goes up and does like 20 minutes and destroys the place. Now I'm really stressed. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. Like, I gotta follow Jim Gaffigan, really?
Man.
Jim Gaffigan gets off the stage. The host comes back up and goes, oh, how cool was that? Isn't that great? Well, you're never going to believe this. Up next, we have Jerry Seinfeld. Now, I'm like, I thought this dude was fucking kidding me. I'm like, are you kidding me? So, no, here comes Jerry bopping up on stage. I've been watching Seinfeld since I was a kid. I've seen every episode. Like, this is insane. And now the guy's 30 feet away from me. And he starts doing a ton of time. He did a bunch of old jokes I've heard a million times. And I'm thinking, I gotta follow these two guys. Like, this is bullshit. Like, because now, even if my jokes were good, which they're not really that great, no one's going to give a shit. No one's going to care because they just saw this audience who paid like $10 to get in. Just saw two of the best comedians of all time. So I turned, there happened to be a friend there of mine that happened to be there the same night. A comedian named James Dorsey was there. And I turned to him and I said,
what's his name?
Dorsey, James Dorsey.
James Dorsey?
Yeah.
That's weird. That's my cousin's name. Okay, I want to...
Said to him, I said, I don't think I'm going to do my set. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to do it because nobody gives a shit. Like, I'm just going to do something else. I'm going to just talk about this or something.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the manager of the club comes and grabs me and him because we're like the only two people left. And I'm like, oh man, he's going to tell me we can't go on stage because these guys are eating up so much time and there's a show after this. And like, if I drove all the way to New York and I can't do a set, I'm going to be so mad. Because like, look, part of me, like, should I have just sat there and enjoyed it? It's two of my heroes. Yes, but that's not me. That's not me. I didn't sit there and enjoy it. I wasn't even listening to Jim and Jerry. I didn't care. I was like, I have to go up. I drove here. I want to do my set. Now I don't even know what to say because these guys took all the energy out of the room. So luckily he said, you guys can't do 6 minutes. You can only do 4. And I was like, fine. 4 is about all I can handle at this point. You know what I mean?
Wow.
My heart's jumping in my chest.
Oh my gosh.
So Jerry gets off. The place is going nuts. And when he called me up, I just completely went off script, and it went really well. The manager really liked it, and Jim Gaffigan's wife, Jeannie Gaffigan, actually retweeted the set video on Twitter, which was exciting. And I thought maybe it would lead somewhere because the manager said he was going to send it to Gotham Live, which is a very popular, well-known show on national television that's well-known, especially in the comedy community. But nothing came from it because that's how my life goes. I get these things where almost something big almost happens, and then it doesn't, like with the Sam Adams thing. But anyways, it wasn't. Look, it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. And I'm very thankful that happened, and that it's on tape, and you can see it on my YouTube channel. So I'm excited for that. That
is the coolest story. If you're just tuning in, you got to rewind this thing and watch it and listen to it. That's cool. Deb just got on. Just checked out your video from Block Island Comedy. Handle jerks in the crowd very well.
Thank you. Thanks for watching. You're just going to have to keep looking at that YouTube because God knows when I'll do stand-up again.
Oh, man, you will. You will. You're hilarious, and you're sarcastic and just dark and mean and just – but it's good. It's good.
I appreciate it.
You look like a guy, and I don't mean this to be mean at all, but you look like a guy that would not be a comedian. You look like just everyone's friend, like just a – oh, that's Brad. He's just a guy. But you get on stage and you command.
Dave, I try to be everyone's friend, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to hear a follow-up story to the Gotham thing?
Yeah.
I think...
Because I got more questions.
I think, and I'm not sure, but I went from, because of that experience, being high in their favor at Gotham to the point where I did at least one set since, to I think I might be banned from Gotham.
What?
Yes, with another... This is another Gaffigan story, which had a much sadder ending than the first one.
Bring it.
Why don't you break it up? I lost you for a second. What would you say?
I just said bring it. Yeah, I know. Every now and then Skype will do that.
Okay.
All that. Yeah, so bring that story. We want to hear it, man.
All right. The follow-up Gotham story, which I think I might be banned. I think. I'm not 100%. If anybody watching knows anybody at Gotham, help me out. But anyways, so here's what happened. Went back to Gotham. I don't even know, maybe a year ago. I was with Bill Simus,
Yep.
and it went well for him. So we go to Gotham. I'm with Bill, and we're having fun, and it's showtime. And someone says, "Hey, Gaffigan's coming in," and I'm like, "Again?" I think he's coming again. I think this guy comes every time I'm here. So this time I was actually early in the lineup. Like, I think I was the first person after the host. So I said to the manager, "Could you put me after Gaffigan?" I said, "Look, nobody wants to go after Gaffigan, but I do. So could you put me after Gaffigan? I would enjoy that." And he just kind of laughed it off. He remembered I did it before, but was like, let's leave it. So I'm thinking, and I'm like, well, I have some thoughts about this. And the way I do comedy is a lot of the time when I'm on stage, I'm talking about what I'm actually experiencing. So, of course, I'm thinking about the fact that I'm on a show with Gaffigan again. I'm thinking about the fact that the audience is only going to leave there thinking, they saw Jim Gaffigan. So I want to comment about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I go on stage,
Yeah.
and I make this joke where, man, every time I come to Gotham, Jim Gaffigan comes and steals all my thunder. So I make this joke. This joke about that. Meanwhile, that was my first joke of the set. About 20 seconds after that, I make another joke at these women in the front row. And this girl, what you would call a social justice warrior or snowflake or whatever you want to call them, starts screaming at me, enraged, because I asked these women if they were lesbians. Now, I wasn't saying anything derogatory about lesbians. I was actually going to make a joke that they should pretend they're lesbians so that my ugly friends don't hit on them. Because there are guy friends there. But this girl heard the word lesbians and started screaming at me. She goes, "It's 2019. We're not all lesbians. Ba, ba, ba." So, long story short, we have an interaction.
We're not all lesbians.
The good news about that is that video of that girl screaming at me has 180,000 views on YouTube. So that's the good news. The bad
Dude. Okay, the bad news.
The bad news is I get off stage and the manager calls me into the hallway and starts screaming at me. Now, I'm thinking maybe he's upset that I argued with this girl. No, he didn't give a shit about that. He was so mad that I said something about Jim Gaffigan to the audience because it was a surprise that Gaffigan was coming. And it was bad. It was very unprofessional of me to do that because when these celebrities like that, and I should have known better, when these celebrities like that make these guest appearances, they don't want people knowing. They're just going to work on their set. They don't want to be bothered. And I get it, and I respect that, and I genuinely felt and feel bad about it.
That happens a lot? Those guys do that a lot?
Yeah, because guys like Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Seinfeld, they have to work on their act, but they're too famous to let anybody know. They have to kind of unexpectedly sneak into a club, do a set, and then disappear like Batman into the night because they're too famous. It's too big of a deal. So I blew it. The manager was livid with me, so he reams me out. I go downstairs to use the bathroom. I come out of the bathroom. The other manager's there. He's reaming me out.
Oh,
I
man.
apologized like crazy. I said I'm sorry. I said, as you guys know, I tend to joke around about what I'm experiencing. Can you still hear me?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I apologized. They ended, by the end of the night, they said they had forgiven me and everything was fine. But last time I emailed them for a spot, they did not respond. So I think I might be dead. I think I might be banned from Gotham.
You might be banned from Gotham. What was your experience like being shown on the Tom Green Show, MTV?
Okay, that's a much older story.
Yeah.
That's way back in my youth when I was just a young lad
Little guy.
in the meadows. I was frolicking through the meadows.
Like a deer, just popping through. Oh, everything was going to be great for you.
So prior to way before I did stand up and stuff, I was a huge Tom Green fan. For those of you old enough to remember the old Tom Green show on MTV.
Sure.
And I loved how he did a lot of man on the street stuff.
Yep.
So actually, I had a public access show called The Golden Mike, which was based on this very cheesy public access Golden Mike I have here.
And let me cut you off because my Carly Couch says, I remember the Golden Mike days.
Yeah, all right, cool. I had that show, and, you know, he was my inspiration for the show. So I did a show where, you know, like him, I would do man on the street stuff, and I tried to make it different than his show. We did a lot of like sketches and stuff like that,
Yep.
and we did different stuff to try to make it so it wasn't just a copycat. But he was my inspiration originally. Well, in 2003, he had come out with his second MTV show called The New Tom Green Show, and they had a contest. Why should we come to your town? And I was like, wow, this is what a great opportunity to meet and work with one of my heroes, because if he comes to your town, he films with you. So I make this ridiculous video, which also is on my YouTube channel. And I make the video. In those days, I had to send it on a VHS tape at the post office. I had to ship it out and just wait, you know, to Burbank, California.
Burbank 10073, whatever.
Yeah, so I send this thing out, and a few days later, MTV calls me. And man, I almost shit my pants. I was like, oh, it was like literally like, hi, this is so-and-so from the Tom Green Show. And I was like, no, it's not. Like, holy shit.
Really?
And they're like, Tom really loved your clip. He's going to play it. It's going to be on tonight on MTV.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, this is crazy. Like, this is where I'm talking. Because, look, I've always felt down on myself. And especially in those days where my friends were in college or in the military or had full-time good jobs, and I was doing nothing in my parents' basement and feeling like a bum just doing a stupid public access show. So to have a national television show call me and say, you're going to be on national television, and it's like my hero, you know, I was so pumped. So they play the clip. And I'm like, man, we're going to win this thing. He obviously loved it. This is going to be great. Well, he actually picked some dude out in Washington, and I was devastated, right? So I was heartbroken. But he said on the show, after he went to the other dude's house, who was lame, by the way, he wasn't even appreciative that Tom went.
Really?
He said after that, hey, we're going to keep going to other states. I said, all right, I'm not going to lose twice. So I made a second video, and I loved how the second video came out. Made a second video. MTV calls me. Hey, it's so-and-so from MTV. Tom loved your second video. They're going to play it this week. And I'm like, we're going to win. We're going to win. MTV canceled his show that week.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I told you this is how things go, Dave, and people wonder why I'm fucking nuts. Yeah. And to make it even sadder, if it wasn't sad enough.
Gosh.
If I can make it a little bit more sad for you.
Yeah. Take us down. This is what the show's about.
Yeah. So, okay. So that happened. And I was devastated. And then fast forward, I don't even know what year this was. Some year before, a while before I did stand up, I went with a couple friends to see Tom Green at the Comedy Connection. And after the show, like, I went to talk to him about, you know, that whole experience. That was my chance to talk about that experience. And it was so embarrassing. He was so, like, and it's nothing against him. But it was so clear that I looked like a weirdo, and he thought I was a weirdo, and I was so uncomfortable, and it was so weird, and I was like, I should have just shut my mouth and moved on with my life.
Oh, man.
But the cool thing is, once I started doing stand-up,
Get the Kleenex out now. My gosh.
Yeah, that's all right. You know, look, I started doing stand-up, and I felt better about that situation until the world ended. And
yeah, but you keep pushing through. You're like a cat that keeps landing on its feet. So, crappy things are happening to you, but it's like, but you just keep having story after story. Good for you.
Yeah. There's been a lot of good stuff. You know, that Seinfeld thing was a really cool experience. And all the stage time I've gotten with Funny for Funds, I mean, that stuff's been awesome. I love it. So I have a ton to be, I complain, yeah, but I have a ton to be thankful for. I've had a lot of awesome experiences, and I'm really thankful for that.
That's good. Hey, do you have cancer?
What happened?
Do you have cancer?
I don't. So that's good.
There you go.
Yeah, and I don't even have COVID yet.
You don't have COVID yet. You had to add the comma space yet.
Well, I feel like, aren't we? We're pretty much all gonna get it, right?
Well, I heard like 60% of us will get it eventually.
Yeah.
It's going to die down in the summer. That's why I think the governor's gonna open it up. But the doctor, the good doctor says there's going to be a second wave in October or something like that.
Yeah.
Listen, on your show earlier, and what's the name of the show again? Mike and Brad.
Mike and Brad live.
Mike and Matt. You're not on the show, are you?
Matt's a great guy, though. Matt's funny.
Yeah, he's good. Matt's a good guy. Matt and Brad. So you said something about the Mandalorian. This is the last question. Yoda, Baby Yoda, right? You said, and I don't know if you're right on this, that's not Yoda. That's from the Yoda race. How do you know that? A. What's up with that?
Yeah, no, because Yoda died at the end of died. Did he die in Return of the Jedi, or did he die in Empire? He died in Return of the Jedi.
But I thought that was in between. Like that could have been Yoda. No.
No, Mandalorian is after Return of the Jedi, but it's before the Kylo Ren series.
I thought it was before A New Hope.
No.
Like way before, like 50 years before. No?
No, it's after Return of the Jedi.
So they're just calling it Baby Yoda because it looks like Yoda. It's the Yoda race.
Yeah, it's not Yoda.
I can't wait for season 2, but again, that's a bummer.
That's why when you watch the show, there's like, I don't know if you've seen the part with like the sticks with like the stormtrooper helmets, because the Empire has fallen. There's a lot of references to the Empire has fallen.
Mm-hmm.
So, because it's after Return of the Jedi.
Oh.
So yeah, it's not Yoda.
I gotta watch the whole series again. I love it. Yeah, it's like a western. It's like a spaghetti western.
Yeah.
And it's quick. 30 minutes is just it's like a serial western. Listen, thank you so much for coming on the show, Brad.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Don't be down.
No, it was a good time. I enjoyed myself.
Cheer up.
I don't drink wine, though, but I had a beer, if that counts.
Tell me about you won the award for the best Rhode Island accent. What the heck's that about?
Yeah, it was a contest from a company called In Down City PVD.
Yeah. They put on all those shows, yeah.
And best Rhode Island. I made a video. I obviously have a strong Rhode Island accent. Long story short, I won. It was exciting.
You're the guy. You've got the best Rhode Island accent.
Apparently.
Tell me something that's Rhode Island. Like if you're going out to eat, where do you go? What city? How do you drive? Just say something Rhode Island.
I guess I have to drive like an asshole if I'm a Rhode Islander. I guess that's part of it.
Getting some chowder.
Yeah, chowder, lobster. I actually don't like seafood, so I guess that's hurts my Rhode Islandness. But I definitely like iced coffee, and I definitely talk like a Rhode Islander, and I like all my New England sports teams.
Yeah, you like the Red Sox, don't you?
I like all the New England sports teams. It'll be fun to ever see sports again.
Crazy. Listen, thank you so much for coming on the show. So last minute, but you're good at that stuff. Guys, underneath Brad's name, okay, youtube.com / I can't read it because it's being covered.
The Golden Mike.
The Golden Mike. Go follow him. His videos are hilarious. And, support him. If you've got a party, well, you don't have a party. You know what he'll do? He'll come in and he'll insult your kids who are washing the dishes. Seriously, if you've got, I don't know what he charges, $50, $100, $300, whatever it is, you need to get out and have fun. This is a great way to have fun by getting out, bringing him in. He'll come in, he'll sit at your dinner table. They'll probably do a live broadcast of the show that's on Wednesday nights from 6:30 on for an hour, 6:30 to 7:30. And your kids will be washing the dishes. He'll just hang by them by the shoulder and insult them and do all kinds of stuff. Insult your wife and husband and just be an annoying guy. You got to pay for that stuff.
I'll wash the dishes if you want me to.
Wash the dishes. That's good. Awesome.
At
So what
this
do we got?
point, I'll do what it takes.
Bob Sherman says, grab guest. But what he meant, he didn't want me to grab you. He said, great guest. He's typing. Something tells me he's on his phone and he's got the fat fingers.
Yeah.
Grab guest. Man, that was a grab guest.
It's not allowed these days.
It's not allowed. Brad is awesome. He will make you laugh, says Chris Maynard. Guys, you're the best, my friend. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope to see you on the other side.
Thanks so much, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thanks. See you.
Wow. That was... I feel bad for him, He's such a great guy. He really is. And he's out of work. Think about that, guys. A comedian has to be with people. Has to be with people. And he can't. He absolutely can't because our governor said, and I think she said this, crowds of 50 or more, cancel it. So, what kind of club is he going to go to? Knights of Columbus? I mean, it's not the same. It's really not the same. So you need a lot of people laughing. And the people at Knights of Columbus, they don't laugh. They're just miserable. I don't know. Maybe they're related to Brad. Brad's a good guy. I'm just kidding with him. Those are some great stories, I'll tell you. What do we got? Oh, we got time. Whoa, 2 minutes. I got to switch to the next one, which is Dave Plays With Apps. I don't have a lot of time for Dave Plays With Apps. And I wasn't even set. I was so focused on Brad and giving him my time that I completely forgot about Dave Plays With Apps. Are you ready? Let me get rid of this thing. Here we go. Dave Plays With Apps. Oh, there it was already there. Dave Plays With Apps. All right, this is going to be super, super fast because I got a joke at the end. My brother Mike is always saying, joke, please. It's free, Mike. Get a life. House party. No, hey, 1,500 jokes is pretty cool. Boom. But they're not super funny. What do I want to show you? I want to show you a thing that. Oh, what happened to it? It just disappeared. It just disappeared. It's an app that I use to go to sleep to. And wait for it to pop up. There it is. There it is. There it is. Boom. I'm going to go like that. It's called Cami 2. And I love this app. If you're stressed out, you got to work with Cami 2. So you go here, and it's kind of like, well, it's origami. It's multicolored shapes in origami. And see the 5 right below it? That means you have got to clear the board in 5 steps. Boom, here we go. Here we go. Let me reduce this so you can see. You can see that better? Okay. So now let me think about this. Let me get the green. So you click on the bottom. See the colors on the bottom? Green, beige, blue, and brown. I'm going to go green. Let me see. Green connects to all the blue, so I'm going to do blue. So now I have 3 steps left. See that? 3 steps left. And I think I'm going to do brown. This might be an easy one. Then green, and I got it. I nailed it. Cream. Boom. Check this out. Boom. And if the sound was on, it would do this nice oriental thing. Perfect. And then I go to the next. And I go here. And I go, let me do blue. Can I do blue? Probably yellow, right? Yellow would be the next step. I have 4 more to go. Pink. This is an easy one. Holy Toledo. Blue. Maybe not as easy as I think. Yellow. No, I'm not. I'm going to lose. Because I got black and then I got clear. I got to hit clear. So out of moves. See that? So anyway, not to spend too much time with that, but play Cammy. Play with Cammy. Cammy's great. I love my Cammy every single night. Bob Sherman says they just smoke. I don't know. I can't remember what. I got to check these comments because I'm out of it. I don't know what they just smoke is. They just smoke. I got a joke. Ready for the next joke? The joke of the night. I try to get you kids to bed. Again, it's 10:01. Mike, it's 10:01 every single night. Oh my gosh. I got a joke. You ready for the joke? Let me see. How do I end this joke? Well, there was a guy that wanted. He's kind of a spiritual guy. He bends a little more that way. Wanted to be spiritual, so he wanted to be a monk. Okay, and he goes to a monastery, and he meets the headmaster, and he says, "I'd like to take the tour." So the headmaster takes him on the tour. He goes through the whole tour. Beautiful, on the top of a mountain, the mist. The wooden building, all made of wood. It smells great. It's just, the incense. He's like, I want in. How do I do it? The headmaster says, you're in. All you have to do is be silent for 1 year. And at the end of the year, I'll bring you up to my office and you may speak. And then you're going to be silent for the next year. And that'll help you choose your words wisely. So that whole thing. And that's going to be your life. He says, I'm in. Where do I sign? So the guy gets his robe, the whole thing, and he goes into his room. They give him a room, of course, and he's silent for 365 days for the year. And at the very end, he doesn't say a word. He goes back to the headmaster, head monk. And the head monk says, okay, you may now speak. It is your anniversary. You may say something today. And he said, the food is cold. And the head monk said, okay. And then he sent him downstairs. He went to his room. Again, year number 2, silent the entire year, 365 days. On the anniversary, on the second year, the head monk calls him back to his office. He goes up the stairs to his office. You may now speak again. And he says, the clothes feel like burlap. The head monk says, okay, but those are your words. You may now go back to your room. He goes back to his room. Another year goes by. On the anniversary of his 3rd year, the head monk calls him into his office. He walks down the hill, goes up the stairs to his office. 3rd year anniversary, 3 years. Head monk says, you may now speak a 3rd time. And he says, I quit. And the head monk says, well, you might as well. Ever since you started here, you've done nothing but complain.